Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most devastating scenes to come out of teen dramas. We're revealing major plot points, so a spoiler alert is in effect.
Don't worry about it.
Number 30. Karofsky's Depression, Glee. Dave Karofsky had one of the most challenging storylines on this teen musical drama.
Get out of my face! You are nothing but a scared little boy who can't handle how extraordinarily ordinary you are!
He started off as a relentless jerk on the football team. Then he revealed himself to be a closeted gay teen, trying desperately to hang on to his secret. But when his sexuality was revealed at his new school, Dave made an attempt on his own life that sent shockwaves through the show. Though the show makes the uncharacteristically tactful decision not to linger too long on the scene, it shows us enough to convey the pain of the situation.
Pressure to protect your reputation is so much worse than when we were kids.
Number 29. Brenda breaks up with Dylan, Beverly Hills 90210. As a mainstream genre, the teen soap opera didn't really exist before the 1990s. With its boundary-breaking storylines, contemporary music, and hormonal overload, the original 90210 did a lot to bring it to life.
Do you know how lucky I feel that I met someone like you?
You're lucky too.
There was a lot of buzz going into its second season, especially around the super couple pairing of Brenda Walsh and Dylan McKay. But after a pregnancy scare, Brenda calls things off with Dylan in the premiere episode.
I think we need to stop seeing each other, at least for a while.
It's probably safe to say millions of teenagers had tears streaming down their faces as Shannon Doherty and Luke Perry's characters played out their tortured breakup on the beach. Can you blame them?
Dylan, I'm sorry.
Number 28. Rue begging, Euphoria. Deep in the throes of her substance use disorder, Rue Bennett makes an unannounced and frantic visit to her dealer Fez's house.
I'm sorry, but you can't be coming over here no more. Just go home.
Don't, Fez!
Fez's part in enabling her problem is already weighing on him, so he tells her he won't sell to her anymore. But Rue doesn't leave. Instead, she begs him for more drugs, becoming increasingly desperate, furious, and intense as the scene goes on.
If you gave a shit about me, you wouldn't have sold me the fucking drugs in the first place! But you did!
Even though Fez stands his ground, her accusation that he made her this way cuts deep.
You did this to me.
That this won't even be the worst state we see Rue in is sad in its own right, but the moment stands out for what it represents. Number 27. Maya's Death, Pretty Little Liars. Arya, Emily, Hannah, and Spencer return in the second season of this hit show to be terrorized by the mysterious A some more. But some of the season's biggest drama stems from Emily's relationship with Maya St. Germain.
I've got friends in San Francisco. Oh, you can't just run away. You could come with me. Can't do that. Not even for me.
When her girlfriend disappears without a trace, Emily is afraid. Unfortunately, her worst fears are realized when Maya's body is discovered.
I think it's Maya.
The mystery surrounding this murder wouldn't be solved until season 3. Instead, viewers are left with the four protagonists grieving together.
And just like that, my life is broken.
It's one of the moments that takes Pretty Little Liars from a standard teen drama to something more heartbreaking and poignant. Number 26. Jughead calls his mom, Riverdale. Jughead Jones is in dire straits near the end of season 1. When his gang leader father is arrested for the murder of the wealthy Jason Blossom, the despondent outcast makes a call to his mother in Ohio.
I got a bus ticket to Toledo. Yeah, I thought I'd come and see you and Jellybean for a while.
He offers to leave Riverdale behind and join her and his little sister in their new home, at least for a while. We don't hear the other end of the call. We can only imagine how well that suggestion has gone over with his mother, as Jughead can barely keep it together in the phone booth. He's out of hope and without a plan.
Look, forget I said anything, okay? Alright, bye.
Number 25. Ellie passes away. One Tree Hill. Peyton Sawyer has only just begun to connect with her birth mother, Ellie Harp, in the 3rd season.
I'm sorry, your front door was unlocked.
Hey, if I'm allowed to go into your room and sneak around, you can do the same here.
Ellie is dying of breast cancer and wanted to reconnect with the child she gave up. They make the most of it by crafting a CD together that'll raise money for breast cancer research. Ellie sadly never gets to hear the finished product. She passes away shortly after a violent thunderstorm rips through Tree Hill. Peyton finds her the next day, in a scene that shatters us each time. She honors her birth mother by scattering her ashes in a meaningful place, and we sob seeing the poignant ordeal unfold.
Say hi to my mom.
Number 24, Sheriff Forbes' death, The Vampire Diaries. Before she dies, Liz Forbes muses about being one of the few people in the town of Mystic Falls to die an ordinary death.
I did everything right, Damon. I lived a good life. I took care of my family.
The scene leading up to her passing, including one where she asks vampire Damon Salvatore to give her eulogy, are some of the show's very best.
Only do me a favor, nothing dirty.
No problem.
When she does pass away, her daughter Caroline is, of course, devastated. She didn't even get to say goodbye. Sheriff Forbes was one of the show's strongest and most morally upright characters. Losing her was a blow to everyone who knew her.
I'll take that drink now.
Yeah.
Number 23, Rue's eulogy for her father, Euphoria. The season 2 episode featuring Lexi's play opened up a lot of wounds and generated a lot of memes. We see significant moments from the lives of the show's characters recreated, and one of its most difficult is the restaging of Rue's father's wake.
What is it like, such intensity of pain? If the drink is bitter, turn yourself into wine.
Zendaya's character watches the actor essentially playing her on stage. We are also taken back to the day she read her dad's eulogy.
You told me that if I ever wanted to be with you, all I would have to do is close my eyes, and we'd be together.
Since this is what the show considers the source of her destructive behavior, it's like getting the final piece of the puzzle as to why Rue is the way she is.
You said that memories exist outside of time.
Having to watch your friend's perspective of that moment is even more vulnerable and raw. Number 22. Stiles saves Scott, Teen Wolf. When the team holes up at a strange motel for the night, they begin to descend into paranoia and madness. Scott McCall expresses his grief over the way his life has gone since being bitten by a werewolf.
There's no hope.
What do you mean, Scott? There's always hope.
Not for me.
In despair and under the influence of some mysterious villain, he stands in a pool of gasoline with a lit flare. His best friend, Stiles Stilinski, makes an emotional plea to stop him from igniting the gasoline.
This guy, just listen to me, okay? You're not no one. Okay, you're someone. Scott, you're my best friend.
Stiles even moves himself into harm's way, standing in the gas with Scott. The emotional scene is a poignant testament to the power of their friendship. No! Number 21. Joyce Summers' death. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Buffy Summers spends so much of her life saving the town of Sunnydale, but even she's powerless when it comes to the sudden and random cruelty of death.
Mom?
The scene where she finds her mother's body on the sofa goes on for so long, it's almost unbearable. Instead of immediate tears and melodramatic emotions, we first watch as Sarah Michelle Gellar registers the character's confusion and shock. She doesn't know what to do with herself. The entire episode is a tearjerker, seeing breakdowns and emotions from everyone. But it's Buffy's regression to being her mother's little girl that hits hardest.
Mommy?
Number 20. Lex's death, The 100. This show is filled with violence and tragic moments, but one that fans will never forget is Lex's death. The commander of the Grounder clans was killed by Titus accidentally when a shot that was meant for Clark struck her. The hardest thing to watch is that Lexa does not die right away, but realizes that her moments are numbered and gives Clark a message of strength before taking her final breaths.
You're right, Clark. Life is about more than just surviving.
The tragedy of Lexa and Clark's relationship sadly fits into a greater narrative of tropes surrounding LGBTQ+ couples. Number 19, Quentin's death, One Tree Hill. Every season of One Tree Hill features a number of heartbreaking moments, and this won't be the last to appear on our list. Quentin's character was only introduced later in the show's run, but he still managed to make a big impact in a relatively short time. So when he was shot in a moment of seemingly senseless violence, it was both shocking and extremely upsetting.
Have a nice night.
While the moment of his death was incomprehensible, it was his funeral that had us grabbing for tissues, especially when it became clear how Jamie was impacted. Number 18, Stefan's death, The Vampire Diaries.
Let me do this for you. No. Then let me do this for me.
In the series finale of The Vampire Diaries, Stefan sacrifices his own life to save Mystic Falls when Catherine tries to destroy it with Hellfire. Considering how much heartbreak the characters experience on this show, it shouldn't have been a surprise that the ending was not a simple or happy one. Stefan wanted Damon to be able to live happily with Elena, and therefore he cut his own life short in order to facilitate it.
Goodbye, brother.
In the end, only one of the Salvatore brothers could survive, and while there was no right choice, at least this option allowed Damon and Elena's love story to continue. Number 17, Ezra's betrayal, Pretty Little Liars.
Don't.
I've lied about a lot of things.
Ezra, don't!
Arya and Ezra's relationship, though seriously problematic based on the fact that he's a teacher and she's his student, was a fan favorite on Pretty Little Liars. So when Arya finds out in season 4 that Ezra has been lying to her for their entire relationship, it's crushing for both her and the show's viewers. Spencer tries to convince Arya and the other liars that Ezra was A, but in fact he was researching a book about Allison and knew who Arya was all along.
You knew Allison. You knew her. You pretended not to, and you wanted...
Yes, I know. I lied. I am so sorry. I wanted to tell you so many times, but I was afraid.
This means that he took advantage of her when he first met her and exploited her for information. We're still surprised they managed to overcome this one. Number 16, Ruby gets shot, On My Block.
Then this one's for Jamal.
For Jamal!
Olivia's quinceañera goes from festive to violent in a flash in the first season finale of On My Block. Ruby and Olivia are dancing when Latrell shows up on the dance floor with a gun, and Ruby is the only one who sees what's about to happen. He spins Olivia around in an effort to protect her and calls out to Caesar, who he knows is the target of Latrell's attack. The episode ends on a cliffhanger without the audience knowing Ruby's fate, in a shocking and traumatic end to the season.
Call 911! Call 911!
Number 15, Jimmy gets shot, Degrassi: The Next Generation. Here's a seriously heartbreaking moment from a show that lives to break viewers' hearts on a regular basis.
Sure, it'd be cool if you skipped the rest of the day. Toby, this is the one time I actually want to be at school.
Before Aubrey Graham was singing Hotline Bling under his stage name Drake, he played Jimmy Brooks, one of the coolest guys at Degrassi Community School.
Oh man, this is nice. Oh, hey, this is nice. It's so soft. Where'd you get it? I know where you could find it. Oh, man.
But with popular comes the pressure to be cool, and that includes making fun of the less popular.
Oh. But you might want to watch where you're going, loser.
You might want to watch where you're going, Neanderthal.
What'd you just say?
Like Rick, who one day has had enough of the bullying and brings a gun to school.
Is that real?
The whole time you pretended to be my friend. You made me do this.
He shoots Jimmy in the back as he runs away. Luckily, poor Jimmy survives.
My basketball career, my whole future, it's gone. Just like these two pieces of me.
Number 14, Piper mourns Prue. Charmed. On Charmed, Prue actually dies a total of 3 times, but it's her third and final death that hits the hardest for those around her. While of course the moment she was killed by Shax in the season 3 finale was devastating, this moment from the following season is the one that brings major tears to our eyes. As Piper mourns her sister, her feelings present as rage more than the traditional sadness.
How could you go and die and leave me here all alone? Please go back. I need you. Please go back.
She breaks down and lets all her feelings out, directing them towards her recently deceased sister in this scene that is nearly impossible to watch without getting emotional. Number 13, Omar's relationship with his father, Elite.
Ser mujer o un homosexual en una familia como la suya tiene que ser un infierno. ¡Pobre Omar!
Hey, ¿qué? ¿Qué insinuaste de mi hijo?
When Anders' mother finds out he's gay, she's supportive and loving, but unfortunately, Omar does not receive the same level of support from his strictly religious father. Yusuf wants to arrange a traditional marriage for his son and refuses to accept him for who he is.
Dime que no es verdad. Dímelo!
Yusuf's shame is evident, leading Omar to distance himself as much as possible from his family. It's a tragic story arc that is sadly representative of the relationships so many members of the LGBTQ+ community have with their families. Number 12, Amy's trauma over her assault, sex education. Sex education manages to strike an incredibly difficult balance between comedy and drama, covering all aspects of the adolescent experience. In the show's second season, Amy, who had previously presented a tough persona, experiences a sexual assault while riding on the bus to school. Though at first she brushes it off, she gradually realizes how much the incident actually traumatized her as the season goes on.
Don't touch me, Steve! I don't like you touching me anymore!
I'm your boyfriend.
I don't think I want a boyfriend. I'm sorry.
While this arc is filled with heartbreaking moments as Amy admits to herself how affected she was, the conclusion of the storyline fills us with joy.
It's just a stupid bus. It's just a stupid bus.
Downtown life's back, halfway up this street.
Number 11, JT's death, Degrassi: The Next Generation. Back to Degrassi again. The characters on Degrassi: The Next Generation experience just about every awful thing that could possibly happen to a teenager throughout the show's 14 seasons. One of the most emotionally effective, however, is JT's sudden and unexpected death. JT intended to tell Liberty that he loved her and wanted them to be together on her birthday, but that night is instead stabbed in a brutal drunken murder by Drake Lemke.
Man, what the hell did you do?
The fact that Liberty finds JT makes the entire thing so much more difficult to watch. Number 10, Allison's death, Teen Wolf. In the third season of Teen Wolf, Kira's mother, Noshiko, summons spirits known as the Oni in an attempt to defeat Nogitsune. But the Nogitsune manages to possess the Oni and uses them against our heroes, causing the gang to fight them. Allison kills one of them, but is mortally wounded by another who attacks her. While she manages to save the others, she does not survive the attack.
It's okay. It's perfect. I'm in the arms of my first love. The first person I've ever loved. The person I'll always love. I love you.
Watching her die in Scott's arms after telling him she loves him is just simply too much to bear. Number 9, Freddy's death, Skins.
Can't let you have her, I'm afraid. She really does love you, you know.
In a show as heavy as Skins, there are endless tragic moments, like when Tony doesn't remember where he lives. But Freddy's death was one of the standout heartbreaking moments of this show.
We're together. Okay, we'll be together.
Good morning. How are we doing?
He and his best friend, Cook, are both into the same girl, Effie Stoneham.
She broke my heart, man. She broke my heart as well. You broke my heart. I'll bet you've broken hers at some point.
When it hurts their friendship, Effie can't forgive herself and starts to see a counselor after attempting to take her own life.
John Foster, my counselor. He was the one that helped me.
Yeah, and what did he do that was so special?
He took all my bad memories and made them good.
However, her counselor is crazier than his own patients and secretly wants her to himself, so he traps Freddy in a stairwell and beats him to death with a bat. The fact that no one knew what happened to him for so long made fans angry, but Cook figuring it out and avenging his friend's death made the loss of such a good character a bit easier to accept.
Get it into your, into your bonds. That you killed my friend. And I'm Cook.
Number 8, Marissa's death, The OC.
Baby, I've been here before. I've seen this room and I've walked this floor.
Love her or hate her, you couldn't help but be sad when the rebellious girl next door died in a fiery car crash.
Marissa. Marissa.
Until then, the saddest moment had been season 1's finale, when Ryan went back to Chino and Seth sailed away for the summer.
But I've seen your flag on the marble arch, and love is not a victory march.
Throughout her time on the show, Marissa dealt with substance use and depression, and acted out by dating bad boys, all to make her snobby mother mad.
Are you drunk? Let me guess, tequila?
She was like this when I picked her up.
You don't have to defend yourself to her. No, but you do, young lady.
At the end of season 3, Marissa seemed to be getting her life together by going back to her on and off boyfriend, Ryan.
Come on, we're in this together, okay? One last time.
One last time.
But on the way to the airport, her drunk ex-boyfriend ran them off the road. And that was it for Marissa Cooper.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Number 7, The Tree Hill High Tragedy, One Tree Hill.
Please just believe me, it gets better.
It won't! Not after this! I can't take this back! I can't erase this!
Jimmy Edwards bringing a gun to school was dramatic enough, let alone the fact that Lucas and a bleeding Peyton were stuck in the library while Nathan, Haley, and Mouth were stuck in the tutor center with the shooter himself.
Nobody's going anywhere.
But the real heartbreaking moment from this episode goes down as one of the biggest plot twists in teen drama history, the death of Keith Scott.
Does this darkness have a name?
Everyone knew that Dan and Keith were far from perfect brothers, but when Dan picked up that gun next to Jimmy's lifeless body and put a bullet through his own brother, audiences everywhere felt shocked and betrayed. Number 6, Jeremy's death and Elena's reaction, The Vampire Diaries. As noted, there are many upsetting deaths on The Vampire Diaries, but Jeremy's manages to hit closest to home. While his death itself was of course traumatic, it was Elena's reaction that makes this one of the saddest moments in the show's run. Nina Dobrev's performance as Elena shines in these scenes, where she expresses her shock and horror over losing her last surviving family member.
There's a chance. It may be minuscule, but it's hope, and I'm gonna hold on to that hope with everything that I've got, because there's no way that... There's absolutely no way that my brother's dead.
We see her go through many of the traditional phases of grief as she processes her brother's passing, and it's hard to decide which one is the most difficult to watch.
No, Elena, stop.
There's nothing here for me anymore, Stefan. Every inch of this house It's filled with memories of the people that I love that have died.
Number 5. Justin's death. 13 Reasons Why. There are a lot of tragic moments to choose from in this teen drama, but Justin's sudden AIDS diagnosis and subsequent death topped the list. Because of his experience with homelessness and subsequent struggles with risky behavior, Justin contracted HIV, and at the end of the 4th season, is told that the doctors had diagnosed him too late for him to receive life-saving treatment.
You're the best thing that ever happened to me.
You're out of your mind.
He soon develops pneumonia and meningitis, which abruptly end his life before the school's graduation ceremony. So sad. Number 4. Jen's video to her daughter, Dawson's Creek.
Hi, Amy. It's Mom. Well, by the time you see this, I won't be here anymore.
In the 2-part series finale set 5 years in the future, viewers learn that one of the main characters, Jen Lindley, is suffering from a fatal heart condition.
Because I am gonna die, Jack. And like everything else in my life, I don't really know how to do that.
During the show's final season, Jen dealt with her grandmother being diagnosed with breast cancer.
Are you talking about breast cancer? Yes.
It's only fitting, and absolutely heartbreaking, that Jen's Grams would be by her side as she dies of her own illness.
I'll see you soon, child.
And if that doesn't get to you, the video she makes for her then 1-year-old daughter Will, where she lists all the things she hopes for her daughter's life.
I want you to love to the tips of your fingers. And when you find that love, wherever you find it, whoever you choose, don't run away from it.
While the drama was named for the titular character Dawson Leary, Jen was often the heart of the show, and fans were sad to see her get such a bleak ending.
Like spending the best year of my life with the sweetest and the smartest and the most beautiful baby girl in the world.
Number 3. Buffy kills Angel. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The only thing harder than being in love with a vampire is being a vampire hunter whose sole purpose is to kill people like him.
I love you. I try not to, but I can't stop.
Me too. I can't either.
This minor setback weighs heavily on Buffy and Angel's relationship throughout earlier seasons, but reaches a whole new level when Angel becomes his evil alter ego, Angelus.
I wanted to say goodbye first. You are the one thing in this dimension I will miss.
This is a beautiful moment we're having. Can we please fight?
In the season 2 finale, Buffy and Angelus are locked in battle as he attempts to raise a demon.
You're going to hell.
Save me a seat.
Angel's soul is restored, but in order to save the world, Buffy is forced to put a sword through his body to stop the demon as he creates a vortex, pushing Angel into it as a result. Angel fortunately doesn't actually die, but the emotional impact of this moment is still absolutely immense. Number 2, Luke Perry tribute, Riverdale.
No. I'm sorry, Mary. I'm sorry, Archie.
When an actor dies suddenly before their time, many shows struggle to hastily put together an appropriate tribute to their life on the show. In dealing with an incredibly difficult situation, Riverdale managed to send off Luke Perry's character, Fred Andrews, in the season 4 premiere, which aired the year following the actor's death. Fred dies in a simple act of heroism, saving a woman's life but sacrificing his own in a hit-and-run accident.
I froze in its path and your dad, he pushed me out of the way. He saved my life. And
If he hadn't done what he did, there's no way that I would be here right now. I know that.
Because this entire episode is tinged with the reality of what happened to Perry, it's all the more devastating. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. The New Directions sing about Finn's death. Glee.
Seasons of love.
The only thing more heartbreaking than a main character dying on a show is the actual actor passing away.
Anyone who wants to can come up and sing. Maybe a song he sung? Maybe something that reminds you of him?
Singing isn't gonna bring him back.
No, it's not. Nothing is.
Corey Monteith, who played Finn on Glee, died of a drug overdose before season 5, and so his character had to be written off as well.
God, his arms are long.
This episode, titled The Quarterback, served as a tribute to the actor and character that had been on the show since episode 1.
It's pure talent.
If I have to crawl upon your floor, come crashing through your door, baby, I can't fight this feeling anymore.
Besides the opening number in which the whole cast sang a song in his honor,
Measuring up seasons of love.
other characters paid tribute to his death with music. Most notably Lea Michele, who was not only his on-screen love interest, but his real-life girlfriend as well.
I don't know what to say either. I loved Finn, and he loved me, and he loved all of you guys. I know he did.
So when Rachel sang Make You Feel My Love, wow, we all felt it.
Go to the ends of the earth for you to make you feel my love, to make you feel my love.
What teen drama moment still makes you tear up? Let us know in the comments.
And I wanna hold your hand.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.